To break it all down for that and what it means for the markets, Ed Mills, Washington policy analyst with Raymond James. Of these, which do you think has the most likelihood, Ed, of having an impact on investments in our bottom line?
Yeah, I think it's probably most collective. Everything outside of impeachment is a really big macro positive coming out of Washington this week. With the USMCA, you have the situation where business confidence and business spending has been the biggest drag on the economy this year. So if you can get that passed and give some business confidence out there, you probably put that as number one. But right behind that, by not having a government shutdown, extending a whole bunch of tax provisions, doing a lot of the cats and dogs that were left over for the year, that's adding a ton of fiscal stimulus to the market. And when you have the Fed largely on the sidelines being more accommodative, you add these all up together, and this is a really nice macro backdrop that D.C. is giving us for Christmas.
I read that you think that the USMCA has the potential here to really boost CapEx spending. Can you explain why and how?
Yeah, I think it's been the story all this year has been about uncertainty. We've had China trade kind of going back and forth. As soon as folks started to move things back to North America, especially to Mexico, the president threatened a whole bunch of tariffs on anything that came in from Mexico. So now where we're going to have signed into law a new trade agreement between the United States, Mexico, and Canada, that gives businesses much more certainty here, at least in North America, allowing them to invest into the future. And I think this is something that they've really been hoping and waiting for, removing that big overhang that NAFTA could be pulled at any moment.
And Ed, those positives far outweigh the potential negative impacts of the impeachment?
Yeah, I mean, I think what most of us here in D.C. have been thinking is that the base case is playing out as of right now. So the House is going to vote for articles of impeachment, and everything points to that the Senate is not going to vote to convict. So once we've kind of moved from that story, we look at the rest of the backdrop, and the rest of the backdrop is largely positive from a macro perspective, at least up until the caucuses and the primary start for who's the next nominee for the Democratic Party. That is probably the point where D.C. once again adds to the conversation and adds to the volatility.